welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon.
And I'm Angelica.
And welcome to the show. Yay. It's time for end of the year Ask Me About K-Pop Awards. And we are so hungover today, gang, because we recorded our first 4 episodes of K-Pop the Core last night.
Yay!
And it was really, really fun. You guys sent in great confessions. I can't wait for you to see it. It's going to be so fun, but
we're just tired.
We're just tired.
I don't even feel like, I don't feel like sick. I'm just so tired. It's like been a while since they've stayed up that late.
Yep.
Period. But also that late, like, drinking on purpose,
Yep.
you know, or drinking period, but not like I drink accidentally, but like, you know, like we're drinking
This is
tonight.
what we're doing
like, this
tonight.
is what we're doing. Yeah. That hasn't happened in a while and it's tiring, but it was a good time. So yes, stay tuned for that first episode coming your way. The first 3 will be available on YouTube. And then in order to enjoy our very last, drunkest, and most embarrassing confessions, you'll have to make your way over to our Patreon. So those will be coming at you eventually.
Very soon. We'll let you know when the first episode is up.
Yes.
But for now, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll see it in your
and
page
you can
right
get
when
all
it's
the
ready.
notifications.
Notifications. So tradition time. It's Ask Me About K-Pop Awards.
Yay.
This is actually like the 5th one because the first year we only did this awards before we split it into a mini episode.
Like, wait, we need so many things.
But this is the episode that has become our why can't I think of words? Damn, I'm going to have a bad brain today. But it's just an excuse to find ways to talk about things that we love, that we loved a lot this year that are unlikely to make it into our top 15 or like just that we needed to have a moment to talk about. And like, I don't know if it's always like really, truly, this was my best, most favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's my second or third most favorite thing, but I already talked about my first favorite thing. So I need to get something in its moment in the sun.
Yes. I think it's funny how this was our original like end of the year episode and it has since become that sort of like catch-all
extra one.
Yes, exactly. Like this is where I find excuses to talk about all the shit that I don't get to talk about in either the B-sides or the top 15. So I'm excited to give all of these things a little moment to shine.
Me too. All right, so let's just jump into it. And our first category is Best Rookie.
Great.
And we obviously, like every year, had a crazy amount of debuts, new groups coming out all over the place.
Yeah. I didn't really pay attention to absolutely any new boy groups. Sorry to all the boys who debuted in 22. I don't know you. But there were so many every year there are exponentially more groups debuting. And this year's crop was a good one.
It was sure a good one. I felt a little torn about who to choose. I mean, actually, not really. I didn't feel torn about who to choose. I'm just sad I couldn't choose multiple people.
Yeah.
Because I love Kepler. I love Kepler. And I also love, who else do I love? That was new. No, this category really, I was mostly just sad that I couldn't give it to Kepler. But who I did give it to, it's no question. It was an immediate fall in love for me. So my Best Rookie Award this year will go to Chotsarang or CSR with their debut song, Pop Pop. I just truly I love everything about this group. Like, this is my favorite concept. This music sounds like A-Pink music from 13 years ago. I love it. Their debut album is called Sequence Cheaty Cheaty. I thought it was 7272. No, it's cuter than that. And then they've already put out a second little mini with 2 songs, and they won a music show trophy the other day. It was like a weird kind of like fluke week where there wasn't other stuff, but it still counts, and it's still very exciting.
Good for Chotarang.
I like them a lot, and I hope that they stick around and keep making music like this.
Yeah, because this like classic fairy doll.
It's needed in K-pop. It's needed.
Yeah. It's part of the like Punnett Square.
Yeah, for sure.
So my best rookie goes to a very late entrance into the game, but I didn't put them on my B-sides because I just didn't have the space.
Right.
I sacrificed them on my B-sides in order to put them here, and that is 50/50 with their debut song Higher. You take me high, 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 high. You take me high. You take me high. I chose a clip from their It's Live Andromeda performance because they're such beautiful singers. And we said this in the B-side episode, but the main, I don't know if she's the main or the lead vocal, but like one of the main vocalists in this group unlocks a core memory inside of me. And I just like, I love her voice and feel like so like comforted and like weirdly nostalgic for her voice,
right?
And I've really I really liked all of the B-sides on their debut little EP, and I've really enjoyed all of the stages. Like they're very good live, they sing very good, they have like great stage presence, and I really like the outfits that they're going for. Like one of their stage outfits, they look just like Milk in their debut, like where they're wearing the like cute like white like outfits and all like slightly different, but there's something so late 90s, early 2000s about the way that they're styling them. Like even in that It's Live clip, one of the rappers like makes me think of Julia Stiles from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay, yeah.
And like I'm just really into everything that 50/50 is doing. So they get my best rookie.
Great. I love it. I love a super late entry that they were impactful enough these last few weeks to like pull out.
You guys, when I listen to Tell Me, her voice makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
You don't know why. Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm really enjoying them.
Great. Good choice. Our next category is best subunit. And in all the years that we've done this, like some years there's so many subunits and it's like very hard to choose. And other years I feel like one year we might have even had to like come up with some dumb thing that wasn't even technically a subunit so that there was an award for this. I don't know. But this year, I think that we just wholeheartedly agreed that there wasn't any other choice for this.
There was only one subunit I even can tell you about from this year.
Sure. So our award goes to Copycat by A-Pink Chobom.
I literally couldn't tell you any other subunit that existed this year. I'm sure that there were others, but I don't know of them. This was so fun. The music video was great. Like all the stage outfits were so wild and so fun. The choreography was really cute. I loved the concept of the like mirror image and the way that they were like mannequins come to life was so fun and reminded me of that movie Mannequin, which is really a fun 80s movie about a mannequin who comes to life. It's great. And I really liked all of the B-sides on this little EP. They were so fun. It like hurt me to take Oscar off of my B-side list because that song is so great. But I knew that we would get a chance to talk about them here. So I felt less bad about it. Totally. Yeah, I had talked about it in the Support Girl Groups episode when we covered it, but this was so exciting to me as such a long time A-Pink fan that they have never done official subunits before and that this one had my bias in it. And it was just very fun. And I think that they looked so cute and it was fun to kind of bring Chorong out of her shell a little bit because she's a very like quiet, reserved leader type and Bomi is like the wild one. And so I feel like having to do a twin concept, like
raised Chorong to a different like level of like
she had to get out of her comfort zone
and like wear sexy clothes and do body rolls and stuff that like isn't usually her vibe. So I thought it was so fun. All right, our next category is best English song.
Great.
And again, in previous years, I feel like there were years where there were so many English songs. It was like, how will we ever choose?
And honestly, I feel like now it's so common for groups to have either English versions that they like put out after the title track or just B-sides that happen to be completely in English. That when I was sitting down to think about this, I was like, oh, I feel like I don't even keep track anymore of how many English songs there were, because like there is, and some song, like I know like Key and Twice do this a lot where like even if the whole song isn't in English, so much of it is in English that when you're just like listening to the album, it just doesn't even register to me anymore whether or not it is a fully English song or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there were a couple, I remember last year from Twice's last album with Scientists, there's like a lot of B-sides that are fully in English. And when you're just listening to the album, I don't know, it just like in one ear out the other.
Same.
It doesn't even like cross my brain to be like, oh, this song is fully in English. So when I sat down to think about this, literally only one song came to mind for me.
Well, why don't you tell us what it is and go first? What's yours?
Great. Mine is for my dear son, 10, and it is called Birthday.
You're the first things. Show me sweet in a million ways. Baby, we don't need no reason, baby, we don't need.
My son is a slut and I love him. He hates shirts and he's so sexy. I love my 10. This is such a slutty song.
Oh my God.
It's literally about having sex as if it was your birthday. It's also like sweet and beautiful. Like his voice in it is just so lovely, and he has so many pretty little runs. I think it's the only solo song he released this year. I could be wrong about that, but it's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head. It's the only one I remember him putting out at the very least. And this was like a whole great little package because the music video is like really. The music video is really fun, and it's like totally a performance video because it focuses on the choreography, and he was wearing like really dramatic hats and all of the
hats are so good.
The hats are so good. He's wearing really dramatic hats. He has his fingernails painted. All of the backup dancers have like veils so that it's just sort of a anonymous figure as opposed to like a specific like person. And then he performed it at a couple places, and and he released a dance practice too. And the choreography is so good. It's so good. He's such an incredible dancer, but there's this part. Where's my phone? I don't know. It doesn't matter. There's this part where like I saw a GIF set of it on Tumblr, and I literally stopped and was like, girl, what? Because he does this move where he's like on the ground and he does this like full body roll like onto the ground, and like somebody like helps him up or whatever. And then he does this kick where he like kicks forward and then back, and then he keeps his foot back, and then he turns. And when he like turns around, and then like the foot like stays in place. Oh, he's so good. I love him.
Great choice.
That's my pick.
Very good choice. Very good choice. My choice, I had a couple to choose from because once again, like Key gave us a couple of English songs this year, and there was one other. I didn't hate the Espa English song. I'm doing it regardless. I don't remember what that song is called now. Anyway, there were a couple of things to choose from, but what I did choose is something that I wanted on my B-side list very bad and didn't have room for it. So I was like, it will be my English song instead.
Good choice.
And that is No Problem featuring Felix from Stray Kids by Nayeon.
Just pick up the phone. No, there ain't no problem.
I love this song. I think it was like my immediate favorite the first time that I listened to this album because it just has it just has like such joyful vibes. Like it feels very like Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody, or like, I don't know, it just kind of has that like
Makes you want to twirl.
Yes, it makes me want to twirl. And this album includes so much incredible wild syncopation that you would
Yes.
never think of. And this one has doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be. Really? You fit
Yeah.
doesn't have to be in that way. So great. I just love it.
I love it. Yeah. I feel like that's a signature of Twice, like doing strange, unexpected syncopations. And I loved that Nyan did it in this album too.
And then I also really love Felix's little rap. And and you can hear his little accent, and he's like, "Bass down there, we don't play." And like, I love it.
Except it's way down here.
Yes. Ain't nobody better. Come on. Like he's got his like voice, and it's so cute.
I giggle every time his part comes on because I giggle every time I hear Felix. It doesn't matter what it is, every single time. I will
get a
laugh.
little giggle.
Yeah,
out
it
of
just makes me go. I love it. All right. Our next category is Best Concept.
Yes, and this is an interesting category because it can mean a lot of things.
Yeah, we sort of let it be the miscellaneous
or
category.
however you want to try to explain something. So my choice for what I thought was the best concept is Woo-Ah Hip by Mama Doll.
Everybody wanna be like me, feel like na 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 na. Oh, I hear, do like me. 나처럼 해봐라 이렇게.
So I chose this as my favorite concept because I think the concept of, I mean, it was a TV show project group, but the concept of the TV show of taking former idols who are moms now and giving them another chance to do the thing they do best is just really fun. And I love that they gave them such a like sexy clubby dance song to perform, and they all like look amazing. And I just thought that it was so fun. Like mom idols.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Mama Doll. That's so fun. And now that we're getting like so many, we can do like a Papa Doll. Like
have
we
so
can
many
get
dads.
We
We're
could get
just collecting
Rain
dads.
and Changmin and that FT Island and Chen. Like what an insane group that would be.
That's
if we
already
did a
great.
Papa Doll. It's already 4 people.
Yeah.
Like come on. And I know there's more.
Well, yeah, doesn't one of the icons have a kid?
Yes, one of
See,
the
there's
icons
a
has
lot
a
of
kid. There,
dads.
we have a nice round 5. Boom. And there are vocalists and rappers
And a
and main
drummer?
dancers in there. Hey, I think we've got something.
I think we got something here.
Okay, I chose to use the loosey-goosey version of this category because I did not have a place for the B-sides off of this album. And honestly, well, so my real answer when I was like filling out all my categories and I got to this one, my answer was just this new wave of girl group music. Period.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Whatever they're putting into the water of the songwriters for girl groups this year, keep doing it because I loved it. So much good music came out this year that like had a really wide range, but also like even though there were so many different styles of girl group music that came out this year, there was like some through line that kind of connected all of them, this like ephemeral quality that I can't put my finger on, but it was like a magic.
Yeah.
And the album that I have chosen to represent this year of beautiful K-pop girl group music is Real Love by Oh My Girl. And the clip I'm going to play is from the B-side Eden.
너 잡아줄게 이 니든. You feel you feel.
I'm gonna want to turn that one off.
Oh, I just love it. It was like chopping off a limb to get rid of that song on my B-side list. I absolutely adore this whole album, and something that I think the reason I chose this one to be my representative is because I feel like this album contains the entire spectrum of girl group music that came out this year. There's stuff like this, which is like sort of trippy and weird, but soft and pretty, and has a lot of like really delicate vocal runs in it. And then there's the title track, Real Love, which is fun and disco and catchy and such a dance bop. And then like right in between that disco song and this song, Eden, is this song called Drip, which is totally bananas. And it sounds like a pixie, like moody, dark, like weird, heavy, crunchier, like girl group K-pop songs. And those three things don't sound like they would go together, but the way that the album is put together, I actually think is really brilliant, because like that song Drip, for example, starts with this like choral and it like builds into this harmony, and then it whoomp like cuts out and drops into like what it is. But that little intro is what bridges it from the previous song, which was so princessy and nice. And so it like, this album just shows so many different like facets of not only Oh My Girl specifically, but I think it like represents what I wanted it to, and that it gives you a nice little snapshot of all the different sounds we got out of girls this year. And they're all so good. All the songs on this album are wildly different, but I really enjoyed it. And I was like surprised that this was one of my more like played albums this year, but I just couldn't get it. I never got tired of it.
I love it. I'm so happy that you feel this strongly about an Oh My Girl album, because last year I was talking about the Oh My Girl album, and like
with all their vocoder,
with this amount of emotion, and like, but you don't understand. It's so good. So I'm glad that you see. I see how good it is.
It is good. It is good.
Okay, our next category is best performance. And I bring it up every year because I always must remind us that best performance category was created so that we could talk about Swim Good by Hui.
Yes.
So
specifically Hui's category.
So if this was an actual award show and we had like a trophy or whatever, this award would have him on it, because like it would have Swim Good award.
It would have him sitting in the chair with the blindfold and Somin standing behind him, and that's what the award would be.
The statue for best performance.
So what's your pick?
Mine was a very easy choice. I feel like when it happened and I recognized how obsessed with it I was immediately, I was like, this will probably be my end of the year best performance stage. And I'm going to give it to the Brave Girls for their version of Kepler's Mask during Queendom 2. So I really, really enjoyed watching Queendom 2 this year. If you haven't checked it out, you can go to our Patreon, and there's 10 whole audio-only episodes of me recapping and talking about Queendom 2. So check it out if you'd like to. But I enjoyed it so much. And the Brave Girls were like the deepest underdog of the whole season. Like all of the drama in the next week on, and like all the editing was around like, Brave Girls is gonna go home. Yeah. Nobody likes Brave Girls. And it was very sad, and I did not enjoy that narrative, but I thought that they were so great, and I was proud of them for like competing in this show with a bunch of people who are like half their age and stuff.
Yeah, and this performance in particular was so good. I loved everything about the concept in it, and I personally felt they were robbed on that episode.
I would agree. But I love that they took this Kepler song that I also really, really enjoy for being very unique and sounding very like 2017 era Shiny. Like it's just like a strange, like very clubby, cool song. And then that Brave Brothers took that song and made it a Brave Girl song by adding that like 90s like doop doop like in the background to like, I don't know, like really bring the Brave Girls into it. And so I was proud of them for finding a way to make this song so much of their own, and like,
make it more like you pointed out that, you know, most of the people on Queendom were half their age, and I thought that they did a really good job of taking a song by very young rookies and making it feel not only theirs but more mature. Like I felt like when watching that stage, no part of me questioned or doubted the fact that this was their song.
So that's my choice.
Nice. Okay, my choice is born out of my heartache for cutting these ladies from my B-side list, as most of my categories this year are. And that is the LE SSERAFIM performance from the AMAK Awards this year in 2022. I chose this performance because, for one, I needed an excuse to talk about LE SSERAFIM. And for two, I was really impressed by this stage. I haven't really been, like, this whole year, I really haven't been watching things, period. I've only had music on in the background. Like, I haven't been watching music stages. I haven't been watching music videos. So, like, I don't know what any of their other music stage performances were like. I every once in a while would catch a dance practice video, but like I just didn't watch things this year. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I listened to LE SSERAFIM a lot, and I really, really, really liked. I mean, I liked Fearless when it came out. I thought it was like a fun, like different sound for a debut. I didn't love the music video, so I was like iffy about getting into them. But then just like having them on in the background, all their B-sides are so catchy. I couldn't like ignore the way that I kept coming back to LE SSERAFIM. And so when the Mamas happened and I saw that they performed, I was like, oh, great. Like, let's see how they are live. I feel like this is the first thing that I've seen of them. And the crowd at the Mamas this year, I think it was in Hong Kong, huge, like unreal when they plan back. That stage is enormous. And there are tens of thousands of people in that audience. And those girls owned that stage like a first year girl group shouldn't be able to.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, I was so impressed. I loved their outfits. They look like Snow Princess Barbies from like the early 2000s, and they sound fantastic live. They are just like constantly finding the camera, and always they have good face. Like, they just have really good stage presence, and I really, really enjoyed. They did like a little introduction dance break, and then they did Anti-Fragile and Fearless for their whole performance, and it was really good. They're very impressive.
Really good choice. Very good stuff. All right, our next category is Best Solo Male.
Yes.
And this, if we had done this episode 3 weeks ago, I would have had a completely different answer to this question, and it would have been Stupid Cool by Dawn. But I can't fucking listen to that shit anymore. Makes me really sad.
Sure.
It's literally a bragging about just getting engaged song.
Yeah.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Yeah.
I can't listen to that anymore.
That's
It's not even like subtle. It's
yeah.
name checked. The music video has their like anniversary like spray painted on the building. It's the whole thing. So I couldn't pick it because now I'm sad.
Yeah, that's rough.
Right?
That's rough for everybody.
But luckily for me, my favorite only boy came to rescue me in this last month of the year. And like, just out of pure pride and excitement, and knowing that it's very unlikely to ever happen again, because honestly, this is not really his thing.
Sure.
But he did it for us.
Yes, and to complete the puzzle,
which is most important. So I'm giving my Best Solo Male award to my precious Mino for Chase.
Good choice.
다 잊은 것처럼 왜 희미해져 넌 늘 때문에 또 끝을 모른다는 듯이 I keep running.
We did a whole episode about it last week, so I don't have more to say, but there you go. My
if you'd
award
like
is
to
for
hear our
Mino.
thoughts, listen to our bonus episode. I had a lot of boys in my list this year, and it was kind of hard to choose. There were a lot of good solo releases, like Kihyun's and Changmin's and Keys and Aminos, like so many Onus. Oh my god, all three Shinies released solos
this year. The Woods
Chen,
album
the
was
Woods
pretty
album
popular.
was good. Like, yeah, so many boys, so many good boys. But I have to give this to my man Jackson Wang for his album Magic Man. My man Jackson had such a good year. He had such a good year. He put out 3 different music videos, one for Blow, one for Cruel, and the clip I just played is from Come Alive. And his album Magic Man came out in September, and it is the only album I have ever pre-ordered like on iTunes, like as soon as because he released Blow and Cruel as solos first, I think, at least Blow, and then I like pre-ordered the album, and I was so excited when I finally got it. And I love everything that he's doing. Like, he got to perform at all kinds of places this year. Like, he performed a bunch of places with like 88 Rising. And so he went like he performed in the States a couple of times and like all over the world. He has such a fun concept for this album. This like Magic Man, like creepy undead sexy circus is the vibe. And like Blow is like the beginning of it, and it totally tells like a great narrative, kind of the way that he was telling a bit of a narrative with like the 100 Ways and Pretty Please. I just love the Jackson Wang cinematic universe. I think it's great. And his whole like Team Wang Productions, Jackson by Jackson Wang for Jackson Wang, like he does it all. And I'm so proud of him. I absolutely adore Solo Jackson, and I'm so happy that I can say that here in the year of 2022, when back in the years of Papillon, I unfollowed that fool for his solo shit. I literally unfollowed Jackson because he kept posting about Papillon, and I couldn't take it. And now I can proudly reward you and award you with my best solo male Jackson Wang, living his best life.
Wow. That was great. All that you said. I just was letting you go. But this whole thing like blows my mind. Like, just
pun intended.
Yes. Watching that clip just now, like thinking about the Jackson Wang that I was introduced to. Backwards hat, drop crotch pants, doing backflips at any opportunity. Jackson Wang is doing hella artsy, penny dreadful, fucking interpretive dance. Like, it's not what I've ever expected out of him.
Like up high. Yes.
So it's just kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's totally amazing. And I agree. It's like not something that I would have expected from fucking roommate Jackson.
Yeah.
And it's probably not something roommate Jackson would have expected
either,
from himself. Yeah. So we love that growth,
love to
Jackson.
see it.
We love it. We love you. Next category is Best Female Solo.
This one, there were also a lot of really good choices. But for me, it was an incredibly easy question, and there wasn't going to be another answer to this. So my pick is Taeyeon, I Envy You.
So I envy you.
And this award is for the entirety of the album, like not just this title track, because this was Taeyeon's 3rd full studio album. It's very long. It's very, very good. It's very, very Taeyeon. I also purchased the special edition physical version of this album, and it is like a big old flat lay coffee table art book.
Oh, nice.
That has like the most beautiful pictures of her ever, and like all this poetry, like it like tells a story of like beware of a woman scorned, whatever. And it came with, this is one of the best things I've ever gotten in an album. It made me laugh so much. It came with a sealed card that smells like Taeyeon. If you take it out of the plastic, it like, I don't know, it's like a scent card, and it's supposed to like smell like her.
Wild.
It's just like a perfume sample or whatever,
so
but I love
funny.
that. And the photo cards were of her dog and not her.
Adorable.
So like that's all very fun and funny to me. But I love Taeyeon. She's one of my absolute favorite K-pop solo artists, like always and forever. Her albums are always so good, and this one was absolutely no exception.
Yeah.
And it came out in like January or February, so I had it like all year.
And I humbly request that this not only includes her whole album and this title track, but also the concept for this title track and the album and the choreography, because it was all a beautiful cohesive piece. Like even on the album cover, like the way that her dress is like draped, it makes her look very like a Greek statue.
Like a statue, yeah.
And that is the concept of the music video too. She's like a statue
Cupid,
come to life.
like
yeah. But maybe like a dangerous.
Yeah,
she's like an archer.
She's like a heavenly archer.
Yeah.
of
Like
some
Artemis
kind.
or something.
Yes,
Goddess
yes.
of the hunt, right? And in the choreography, it also tells that story, like that same thing. And it starts out with her sitting with her dancers and like in this like pose, and they're all kind of in this like whatever. I can't think of the word for it, but they're all like standing in this like tableau. That's the word. And then it starts, and the whole choreography, like the point moves are all about isolation and like that move where they like walk forward and then like in the clip that you played when it starts, and she just like moves one hand and then takes a step and then moves one arm and moves her head, and it's all so thoughtful and like artistic, and then it all comes back and it ends in the same pose it starts, and like the statue went back to being a statue, and it was just fucking magical, you guys. It's so, I did not ever get tired of watching this, listening to it, nothing. I loved it.
Great.
Yeah.
So what did you pick?
So my pick, also a very easy choice. I did not have to think about this. It is Nyan Pop. I was so excited this year when my dear favorite Nyan came out with her own solo debut. This is her first. I think she's the first twice to put out a solo. I could be wrong, but I think that's right.
Though.
I think she's the first one. Because I can't think of anybody else who has a solo.
So
she must be the first one. But anyway, this little EP is great. Like every single song on it is a no skip.
Yeah,
it is the
it's super good.
perfect summer album. It's perfect. I cannot ever get tired of pop. One of the classes at our dance class learned it, and I literally don't tire of it.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. And the music video is really fun. There are like 1,000 incredible outfits in
she
it.
got to wear so many good outfits.
And
it's
they're
wild.
all great. And they are like, the choreography is so fun. I like couldn't stop. I never actually like sat down to learn it, but it was like instantly stuck in my head almost as much as the song was stuck in my head. The choreography was, which I feel like is not something that usually happens. But yeah, this whole EP was fantastic. The performances were all great. The music video, the stages, the outfits, and like you bought me 2 different versions of this album, both of which are so beautiful. And they came with these like incredible posters, one of which I will be getting framed. Like I love my Nyan. Thank you for this gift. It was the perfect soundtrack to my summer.
Great. Beautiful, beautiful choice. All right. Our next award is for Best Music Video. And this is one where, if I was being fully honest, the answer is Copycat. That was my favorite music video, but we've already done that. So I have to find room for something else. So what I chose is also incredibly new, but as soon as I saw it, it reawoken a love in me. And so that's why I'm giving it to Red Velvet Birthday. This was just, like you said last week, like a return to form. And like, not that Red Velvet has like deeply strayed from their original concept or anything, but this just like had the quirky and the spooky and the like, I don't know, it just like had that, everything that you want out of a Red Velvet music video.
that bubblegum candy but could be poisoned aspect to it. And the whole music video is just them like playing a sort of spooky but very candy colored like game with people in like masks and like, you know, like party animal, like
because
masks.
someone didn't at the beginning. They don't get let into a party.
Yeah, they don't get
then they have
let
to
into
like
your
do
birthday
some
party.
witchcraft and do some games and do some violence so that they can get into the party.
Or enact revenge for not being allowed into the party. Either way, it's such a fun time.
And there's just so many like creatures and like weird faceless things. And I love the motorcycle helmet bouncer at the beginning with the like giant eye. Like it's very cool and weird. And they look so beautiful. And this song is like, I don't know. It's just very Red Velvety, and I just loved it. I loved it
too. Good choice.
Thank you.
This was hard because, like I said, A, I didn't watch that many things, and B, most of the things I watched were Jackson's. So I was like, well, so originally I was like, should I just give this to the Jackson Wang cinematic universe, like period?
Right.
But instead, I'm going to give it to Changmin's Maniac.
미쳐 돌 것만 같아 제발 let me alone 쉼없이 울리는 뻔내 존재 내게는 더 도저히 잘 수 없는 밤
I think we talked about this music video in our Halloween episode
Yes, it
this
was
year.
submitted as a scary video.
Which I'm so glad that it was because I just adore this music video. It's like Hitchcock themed. So he does he references The Birds and Psycho and Vertigo. But then there's also like just some sort of generally spooky things, like the women who are Black Widow spiders or whatever, and they have their like silent movie eyebrows with their like spider web eyelashes. And it's just really kooky and fun, and like he's acting the shit out of it, and he looks
He's
hot.
so hot.
And there's
He's
such
so
needless,
hot.
gratuitous abs and like fake tattoos. It literally, this music video has everything. I'm like a Stefan sketch. Like we have everything.
We
and
have
it does.
thin eyebrowed women,
Thin-eyebrow women, spiders, Hitchcock
orange
references,
bell bottoms,
gratuitous abs, fake tattoos, a full ending credits sequence, and one of the wildest, most fun kicking songs that I heard all year. Like I adore this song. We've described it as like a Meatloaf Queen, like grand rock anthem. And it is like this. I loved this whole EP. This entire release was great. He put out like he put out this music video and a music video for the title track Devil. And then he put out like a performance version of Fever. And they're all incredible, but like every single song on this album sounds really different and like shows a different level of his voice, which is just unfucking real. And I loved it.
Good choice. Good choice.
Next up, we have Best Choreography. And this is my hardest category every fucking year.
It's always so hard because I always love choreo and it's good most of the time.
It's like, yeah, it's why we love K-pop. Like, yeah. And it's, I can think of like 2 choreographies I've ever seen where I was like, that's a stupid move.
Right.
They did both come out this year.
Yeah. But it happens
Those didn't make the list.
This is, I also, like you, feel like I didn't like watch very much this year for whatever reason. Like it's probably because I quit my job that I wasn't chained to my laptop every day, so I just stopped. I didn't watch things as much. So I felt like I hadn't like seen that many choreos maybe, and I thought about like, oh, make a little list and like watch some, and then I was like, don't do that. You're gonna get yourself all upset. Because, I feel like I usually choose my choreo award based on like a single moment in the choreo that makes me feel something so strongly that I'm like, it has to be this one. So that is the reason I'm choosing my choice. And my choice is DM by Promise 9.
Good choice.
Yeah, it's you. Doesn't matter. Gonna be and you. Stay calm and I want to. 눈을 못 피하게.
So this was, when this song came out, I loved it immediately.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good.
And when I watched the dance practice for the first time, when they hit that first big arm lean, crawl, Fosse, like walk towards the front on the Doesn't Matter. I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. And that the whole chorus is like one fluid walk, spin, pas de bourrée, and lean, and lean, and lean. And then they like repeat it.
Yeah.
Twice in the chorus because it's so good that they do it twice.
It's so nice it had to be twice.
And I just love it. Like there is something so like deeply like musical theater.
Yes.
And like it feels like the opening of chorus line, like in its like reaches and like bends. And like, I don't know. There's just something so like dance and jazz about it that I love it.
There's a theatrical drama to it that just like makes it like, it is a performance, and they like take up the whole stage. It's great. I'm glad you picked this one.
Thank you.
I was very torn on this. I had because A, I didn't watch that much stuff, but B, like always so many choices. And I was going to give it to I Envy You, but then you made Taeyeon your solo. So I was like, great, I can shout out this one instead because I was almost going to come down to a coin flip. It really was. But my choice is Love Dive by IVE.
Narcissistic, my God, I love it. 서로를 비춘 밤 아름다운 까만 눈빛도 빠져.
I love IVE's choreography. I think that they really made a big splash this year with their choreography in particular. And this one is no exception. Like, I think that the formations look like magic. That's just like an optical illusion, the way that sometimes they like come together, and the like shapes that they make, I think, are really unique. The like way that they fit themselves together is really fun. And I mean, this song was really fun in general, but I love the way that it like drops into, because I've like when they first came out with 11, like 11 is a very complicated, like there's a lot of like very small, and there's like a big trend nowadays in girl group choreo to make very detailed like hand choreography. And what I really like about this one is that it sticks to that trend, but it like strips it down because the chorus is just hands for a big part of it. When that narcissistic, like, oh, I love it, where they're like looking at themselves in the compact is like the new ABO, like FX thing that I love so much. And then they like, oh, and then when they do the little like,
yes, they knock the hands, and I like the L and the dive.
And the dive.
They do the love dive.
Love dive. It's so cute. I love it. It also makes me think of the LA thing. But I just thought that this was such a great choreography. Like, they are a really, really fun and precise group to watch. I think that their choreography is really sharp and it's detailed in a really unique way. And I thought this one was really, really fun. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
All right, it's time for our final award, which we give to Best Album for the best overall album. And I thought for a long time, that my answer would be I Envy You, but like I get to cover it by making her the solo choice because like I do stand by that album. It is perfect. It is great.
Sure.
And there was a lot of albums that I really, really enjoyed, like all the way through. But I think that this choice came out of, I was trying to fit these songs, like most of these songs, onto my B-side list somewhere. But at the same time, I couldn't choose one of the B-sides to be on the B-side list. And so it was like, how am I gonna like, then I think it just like hit me like, well, I think it's just because you like this album as a whole, so you can't choose a favorite because the album as a whole is so good. So even though it's little and an album in quotes because it's only 4 songs,
it's an EP,
I'm going to give my award this year to New Jeans by New Jeans. And while I know, and we have discussed a lot on the show, like a lot of the controversy surrounding New Jeans, and like I'm fully like in support, like I do think that they are young and there is something creepy about the concept that I can't like articulate, but it does make me feel icky, and I get that. I get that.
And the CEO is shady, and there's a lot of layers to it.
There's a lot of layers to it. But on the same level, like thinking about this as if one of my friends who doesn't listen to K-pop at all asked me, Like, what's the one K-pop album from this year that I should listen to? Like, just on a pure music, listen to this album.
Yeah.
Don't watch anything or get any further involved. I think this is my pick for like the album because it made a huge impact when it came out. Like, in a wild way that I haven't seen in such a long time. So many of these girl groups that debuted this year, like debuted to like
a splash.
massive success, which is really like
made
fascinating
waves.
to me. And I think that all 4 songs on this EP are so good and they have such a specific vibe. We were talking about it when we were watching one of their stages earlier today, that there's like a muted like boredom, but like in that like super cool girl way of being bored.
Yeah, like you
like,
can't
not
be
mean, but like
but
I just
like
can't
you
even
can't be bothered to put more energy into it. Yeah.
And that like that makes a very like that. I think that's why people are so obsessed with them. And it's like these girls seem so unbothered. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be like
And
that.
here I am, bothered by everything.
But yeah, I love this album. The clip that I played is "Hurt," which is like the ballad, and I think that it's so good and so groovy.
Yeah.
I still think that Cookie is a good song. They should not be the ones singing it, but Cookie is a good song. And Hype Boy is great, and Attention is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, so this was my choice, was just to give it to New Jeans.
Good choice. I think it's a good choice. I had a lot of New Jeans on my B-side list as well and had trouble. I ultimately didn't pick any of them because I was like, how can I choose? They're all great. But my choice for best album, because it was a big part of my year, goes to Key's Gasoline. The clip that we just played is from one of the B-sides called Bound. He did perform this on one of the stages and release a dance practice for it. The choreography is very good, was absolutely one of my like top for best choreo as well. But I ultimately wanted to give this award to Key because this is his second full studio album, so it has something like 12 tracks on it. And although I didn't love the title track Gasoline, I mean, I think it's fine, but I just think
my problem with it is I think it's an Industry Baby by Lil Nas X ripoff.
Yeah.
Like, it's too similar to that song. And like, I feel like the rest of the album just shows like Key's color and uniqueness and keyness better than that song
I
did.
agree. That is, I think, the reason that I don't love Gasoline, aside from once you pointed out that it sounds like Industry Baby, I can't unhear it. But also, it sticks out. Like among the rest of the tracks, like it doesn't match the rest of the tracks. And if you take that song out of it, the rest of the nothing is missing from the album.
Cohesive.
Yeah, it makes it more cohesive. And I personally miss nothing about it. But like, I think the album stands really strongly without it. But whatever, it was a concept he wanted to do. Like, you do whatever you want, Key, I love you. But this album itself was so good. I had like 6 songs off of it on my B-side list. I essentially had this entire album except for Gasoline on my B-side list because they were all good. And when I couldn't decide which one to choose, I just decided to not pick any of them and put this album here instead, because truly, like, it's so good. It's groovy and it's sexy, but it's also like touching and a little bit haunting in some of the songs, and there's like a great attitude in it. Like, I really love the song. I mean, I Can't Sleep. That one ironically kept me up all night once because it was stuck in my head. The like, I can't sleep no more, over and over and over in my head. And I was like, Key-Bum, you're killing me. But I also really love the no, I ain't gonna dance for your loving. I love it. I love that song. It's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. Key.
See, I love like Guilty Pleasure.
Guilty
and
Pleasure
Another
is so
Life.
good. I love Goat. I think
Goat
that one
is
is so
great.
good. That one should have been the title, I think. Because like, come on, Key. Like, you
Yeah,
are the
just do
great. You
that.
are the Goat. Like, own it. But whatever. But yeah, then there's Bound and Villain. Like, they're literally all
They're all
good.
so good.
They're all so good. And Key, I think we've talked about this before, especially with Bad Love, in the sense that like he's just such a purposeful artist. He has real intention behind everything he does, which is why I like can't fault him for anything to do with Gasoline, because he wanted to do it. And I know that everything about it was a detail that he chose specifically. So whether I like it or not, he
doesn't
loves
matter,
it.
because he does.
And that's all that matters. And like, I love that he's an artist that puts out music that I know he's really proud of.
Right.
So because I know how proud he is of this, and I think he has impeccable taste, I feel completely solid about backing Gasoline as the best album.
Great. Love it. So those were our 2022 Ask Me About K-Pop Awards. We got in some more stuff under the wire.
We did
so that we could brag about it.
Yeah. And we have a nice range of like stuff that came out at the very beginning of the year and stuff that came out like just a couple weeks ago. Yeah. We're on top of it this year, y'all.
We did it.
No, we're not.
With that, we'll be right back with the random game. All right, we are back. And this week, the random number generator gave us a solo artist, Samuel.
Yes, his full name is Samuel Arredondo Kim. He is a solo artist from the US. His dad is from Mexico, and his mom, I think, is Chinese. And he originally debuted as a member of a hip hop duo called One Punch in 2015. And then that duo was short-lived, so he like moved on and he released like a couple collaborations. Then he went on Produce 101 the second season. He did not make it into the final group, but then he debuted as a soloist afterward. And he's had kind of an interesting career because shortly after he debuted, he got involved in a lawsuit to try and sue to terminate his contract. And I don't know the details of that suit, but I know that he does a lot of like international stuff because he speaks a lot of languages. And I am more familiar with him because of some Chinese dance shows that I've seen where like he competed alongside like V8 and June and stuff like that. So I know he does a lot of activities in a lot of different countries, but I don't know the details of his lawsuit. But he won it in 2021, so he is no longer managed by Brave Entertainment. But altogether, he's put out one studio album and 2 EPs and 7 Korean singles and 3 Japanese singles.
Yeah, I feel like I know him best because I didn't watch any Produces and I'm not familiar with this, is from that he is in so many pre-debut 17 videos because he was like one of the Pledis boys.
Yes. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yes, because that's how he knew V8 and June. And when they were on that dance show together, they were like reunited or whatever. And like, oh, they hadn't seen each other in so long. And like, the last time they saw Samuel, he was like,
really
tiny.
He's like 10 or 11 in
really
the old 17
small.
videos. He's very, very small. But anyway, we're going to watch his most popular music video, which is the debut one. Yes?
Yes, I believe this is his solo debut, which is called 16, and it features Changmo.
So if you'd like to watch that with us, just pull it up and press play when I say go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Title card.
Basketball court, smoky basketball court.
Smiley boy in a hat. On a skateboard. Oh, whoa, fan kick. Okay, so he's like dancing.
So far, this is all in English.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. There's our Korean. We got it.
Okay, now he's like dancing in different places, like in the aisle of a grocery store, and he's like texting someone in his room. It says real Justin Bieber vibes.
Yes, because he's 16.
Because he's 16. Yeah. I wonder how old he is.
A lot of times.
Do you think he's 16?
He was born in 2002.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
He's obviously. And he has like some backup dancers with him. They're just dancing in like a market. That's all. The market is empty and they're dancing.
Now they're riding around in a shopping cart. What goofy sillies.
16-year-olds. But I think he has a Playboy bunny on his hat.
Scandalous.
Okay, so this is Changmo, but he's not actually in the music video. So it's just like a dance break.
In shadow,
Yeah.
mostly. Just a little, old iPod commercial.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes he's skateboarding around. Yeah, that is a Playboy bunny on his hat. Inappropriate. He's only 16. I like this jacket, though. It's like painted.
Yeah.
I think it has a cowboy on it. Yeah, it does. Very cool. It's like a painted denim jacket with a cowboy on it. Maybe it's printed. Either way, I like it. He's just like goofing around with his backup dancers. Oh, the roof. Oh, he's not on a roof.
It does give roof vibes, but I think they're just out
you're right.
near the river.
With the like spinny camera, I got disoriented. Couldn't tell that we were on the ground. There's a lot of auto-tune in this. I wonder if it's the era that it came out in. This is from 5 years ago.
I mean, he is really, really dancing.
He is a very good dancer, yeah.
So it does seem like they're kind of like it. While it does have like Bieber vibes, it also has more of a like who is good at dancing, Usher. Like it's like more showing off that like he's good at dancing
and all the footwork. True.
Oh, I like that.
Well, I mean,
star
Usher
hat.
trained Justin Bieber. He's also a good dancer.
That's true.
Usher's kind of the reason we have Justin Bieber.
But does Justin Bieber dance? Is
Yeah.
that really ignorant of me
Yes.
for not knowing that? I
Yes,
totally
it
did
is.
not think that Justin Bieber danced at all.
I was a believer. No, I mean, like, I loved his Baby Boy debut. I thought it was so fun. But yes, he dances. I mean, I don't know if he still does, but he used to.
He did. Okay.
Don't you remember the Sorry music video? I guess it's mostly the girls.
That was just
dancing.
the girls. It was just the Paris.
Yeah,
Purple
you're right.
girls.
You're right. I forgot that he's not actually in that. But I was like choreo associated to Justin. Anyway, this isn't about Justin.
It's
this is
not
about
Justin
Samuel.
Bieber. It
Good
was
job,
about Samuel
Samuel.
Kim. You did it.
So Samuel Kim, still active, still around, still looks like he's 16. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I bet. That is it. And this is time for weekly recommendations. Do you have anything, or will you just concede it to your awards?
We did recommend a whole bunch of things. I feel like of all the things I recommended, I'm going to recommend the It's Live version of Higher by 50/50 because I love those Andromeda stages. I think that they're so fun. And the girls do not do any of the choreo in it. They just stand and sing, but they are such good singers. I love their voices. I love the strange quality that the rappers' voices have, and they're very cute and they look like they're really having a good time. So I like that one and I recommend give it a watch.
Okay, great. I will recommend something that I watched this morning. It is brand new, and I mean, it's not new because it's a cover, but it is new because it's redone. Anyway, NCT Dream did Candy, HOT Candy. They have re-recorded and redone Candy in NCT Dream style. They are dressed like HOT. They have the outfits on with their names on the front, which I love because I don't know their names. So I was like, good, wear your names. They go to Everland. They dance in front of the carousel. They like do it. They like do the Candy video.
Nice.
But the song just like sounds so much nicer. Like it sounds so much nicer. I love Candy. I think it is an excellent pop song. Like it just is good and is very addicting and is very fun, but it is sung by the first gen idols and is, grating in moments. And NCT Dream added 5-part harmony to the chorus and have like just elevated Candy.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate them for that, and I wanted to recommend it if anyone didn't check it out because I love when the old school and the new school come together this way.
Absolutely. It still always makes me laugh to see that Mark is still here, though. Look at this fuzzy Chanel visor. That's so goofy.
No graduating from
graduating.
NCT Dream anymore.
I thought he did, and then
they just put him
and then they
back.
just put him back. They couldn't let him go.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, great recommendation. We love it. We love to see it. Yeah, I've been enjoying seeing the end of the year award performances. There've been some fun stuff lately. And I'm sure that there will be more to come.
Oh, beautiful Christmas, Aespa Red Velvet.
Ooh,
great
yes.
time.
Wait, that's a good recommendation. That's what I recommend that. SM gave us a brand new K-pop Christmas song, Red Velvet and Aespa collaborating together as a little 9-member girl group in these beautiful slutty Santa dresses that are so perfect. And the song is great, and it's called Best Christmas.
Beautiful
Christmas. And it's fantastic. It really is good. I like it.
Great. We did it. So Merry Christmas to anybody celebrating Christmas this week. We love you and appreciate you. And we will be back next week for our final episode of the year.
Yes, our top 15 tracks of
2022.
2022.
But in the meantime, you can find us lots of places. Most importantly, you can get tickets to our 5th birthday party at moment.co/AMAKpop. We are having a live 5th birthday party celebration live on the internet, and you can come watch it and participate and enjoy all of the fun we have planned and surprises we have for you. And it's going to be so good. So you want to be there.
It's going to be a great time. January 19th at 6 p.m. PST. It will be online, moment.co/AMAKpop to get your tickets. And if you are not in a convenient time zone, don't worry, because VOD will be available for 1 whole week after. So if you buy a ticket now, you'll be able to watch the video if you cannot come to see the event when it actually airs. And yeah, it's going to be a really good time. There's so much fun stuff that we have planned, and it'll be a great evening. There's even going to be an after party where we are having an A-like fan meeting afterward. For just $5 more, you can join us in a more casual setting. So get your tickets now. Moment.co/AMAKpop. It's also at the very top of our link tree, linktree/AMAKpop, and it's in the bios of our Twitter and our Instagram. Yeah.
And all of those things are at AMAKpop Pod, AMAKpoppod@gmail.com, 181-AMAKpop5 to leave voicemails or send texts, P.O. Box 26096, Los Angeles, California, 90026 if you want to send us any mail. Linktree, as you mentioned, patreon.com/AMAKpoppod. You can join our Patreon, get extra content, submit content for other special episodes, all those good things.
Get a special discount code for our tickets. Check your messages, our dear patrons, for that code that you should have in there. And yeah, we do a ton of fun stuff on Patreon for our new series, K-Pop The Quirk, that's going to come out pretty soon. The very last episode will be exclusively on Patreon, so you're going to want to join us for the silliest one. We have other recap series. You did Queendom on
right
there.
Right now, you're doing Kin Porsche, a Thai drama. And
nothing to do with K-pop, but I have been calling it Ask Me About Kim Porsche because it fits really well.
It does, KP. Funny. That's great. I also plan to start a fabulous recap once that finally starts airing on Christmas Eve. So yeah, we have a lot coming to Patreon. You want to be there, so join that.
And joining now gets you access to everything we have ever posted. So you get the whole back catalog as well, which is over a year's worth of content.
2 whole years. We started Patreon in 2020.
Well, I said over a year.
I'm just saying,
that's
it's so
over
much
a year.
Content. It's
a lot of content. Totally worth the $3 to $7 a month that you send us, and we appreciate all of you.
Thank you so much. And that's it for Realsies. We're gonna go now. We love you. Stay warm and happy and safe wherever you are. And goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Jonghyun, you're our inspiration.